Welcome back to Beyond Selling, the podcast where we explore the evolving landscape of business, technology, and human potential. I'm your host, Arindra, and today we are diving deep into the topic that's not just a buzzworthy but profoundly impactful: AI and HR and the future of work. And I couldn't ask for a more insightful guide on this journey than our guest today, Ravi. With over 15 years of experience, Ravi brings a truly unique blend of expertise as an HR professional, entrepreneur, and investor. He has worked across diverse industries: healthcare, media, fitness, and SaaS, managing global recruitment from junior to leadership positions. And quite impressively, he was honored and featured in SutraHR's top 100 talent heads in India for the year 2024. Ravi, welcome to Beyond Selling.
Thanks for Arinder for the invite, and it's my pleasure to be part of your channel. And once again, I want to wish success towards your channel and hope you interview every individual or every leader across the globe.
Thank you for that. Now let's jump right in. To start, let's get a feel of your perspective on this topic. How would you describe the current relationship between AI and HR?
See, again, if you talk about the relationship between AI and HR, so it's not the entire aspect of HR as something that we can actually rely towards AI. It's only the certain aspect, maybe towards talent acquisition, or it can be candidate experience, or predictive analytics is something that we can actually rely on. Overall, AI is seen as a partner that empowers HR teams to create more dynamic and responsive workplace.
I would say that's a great way to frame it. You know, many people have a lot of different ideas about what AI truly means in the context of business. What are some of the most impactful AI technologies you're seeing being adopted by the HR departments today? And perhaps more importantly, what specific problems are these technologies solving?
See, again, if you talk about AI as a tool, right, it does play a major, I won't say major because it's just been a new tool, which is kind of where most of the organization are pretty much relying on. And it pretty much helps you towards the talent acquisition side. And as I did mention with your previous question, right, wherein it can be towards candidate experience or even probably predictive analytics. So let's start with TA. TA, what happens, right? So in case if there's any kind of requisition wherein we put it across on the ATS, and wherein you get close to 1,000 odd profiles applying for one particular role, we can't pretty much go through each and every profile, right? So how do we go about in scrutinizing these profiles? As a human, we pretty much program these AIs so that it pretty much starts evaluating each and every profile that comes and sits on the platform, scrutinize everything, and also only the best profiles which matches our skill set is wherein it pretty much screens and helps us so that way it's more of reducing time as well, and wherein it reduces the cost as well. So this is something which AI helps towards the TF Act. And when you're talking about the candidate experience or predictive analytics towards that side, right? This is where it comes in handy, wherein it comes to be it with regards to sending out pulse survey, wherein we ended up sending across to all the employees probably every fortnight or once a month. So this actually gives us a complete overview with regards to the things that's actually happening in the organization in case if there's any kind of a turnover risk, or it pretty much supports on the succession planning as well. This way, it gives us a complete clarity wherein it depends how do we go about in retaining the talent. And this also helps us in the future hiring process as well.
I think so that clarifies things. Now, a lot of conversations around AI in the workplace understandably focuses on the fear of job displacement. How
Mm.
do you respond to that, especially when it comes to roles within HR itself?
See, that's an interesting one. But again, if you talk about AI as a tool, right, it basically enhances our capabilities rather than replacing a human role. So what happens is, as an HR or as an individual, it's only when I program AI starts functioning based on my feedback. Again, if you look at it, right, there are few individuals that have actually come across wherein they don't mention a lot of things on their CV, but they do have quite a lot of experience and they do have relevant skill set. So there are times wherein what happens, right, we need to go beyond our comfort zone rather than relying on AI. Figure out there are times wherein we need to run through the database as well to see which profile, or there are kind of profiles wherein it might have come from a competitors in the market, wherein AI as a tool would have missed out. So it helps us in reviewing these profiles. And as I said, we can't completely rely on AI, wherein human interference is something that needs. And without human interference, things doesn't go as the way we have planned.
So I definitely agree to that part. Ravi, let's talk about specific applications. Where do you currently see AI having the biggest impact right now? Is it predominantly in talent acquisition, or perhaps employee experience, or learning and development, or somewhere else entirely?
See, AI is transforming talent acquisition. So it can be in the form of towards employee experience or learning and development. And again, you look at it towards the recruitment aspect. It pretty much streamlines recruitment by optimizing candidate sourcing, enhancing resume screening, or reducing time as well. For employee experience, again, AI personalizes interactions, offers real-time feedback, improves communication, fostering engagement. This is something that we can actually look into when it comes to the employee experience. And towards the learning and development, right? AI supports personalized learning paths, or adaptive learning, or adaptive training, or in case if there's any kind of skill gap assessment, right? This is something that we can actually rely on AI.
So Ravi, it's really fascinating to hear, those specific areas where AI is really helping out different organizations and all. But can you also perhaps give us an example of what's a specific AI tool or application in HR that you find particularly innovative or effective? And if you could walk us through how it works and the kind of result it delivers, it's going to be really useful to all our listeners.
All right. See, again, if you're talking about the HRMS tool, right? These days, every organization do rely a lot on this particular tool. Now, be it in my current organization as well as in the past, wherein I've worked on Darwinbox, Keka, Workable, or in the current organization wherein Google Hire is something that we actually rely on. So these are the tools which pretty much carries the entire employee journey within the organization, be it from onboarding to exit. So in between, you talk about PMS, you talk about leave management, pay slips. These are the kind of stuff which is pretty much gets covered in the HRMS tool. Gone are the days wherein we used to rely a lot on Excel, be it with regards to in collecting documents or be it for payroll aspect. Excel was a major tool. And now what happens, right? Having a relevant HRMS tool, each and every individual in the organization, they do have credentials wherein they can actually log into this particular tool, download documents whichever that they need, be it with regards to the payslip or to even figure out how many leaves that they have. So this having a relevant tool makes a lot of difference in any organization.
I think that's a compelling point. But of course, not every implementation is a roaring success. On the flip side, what are some of the common pitfalls or even outright failed attempts you have seen when companies try to implement AI in their HR function? And what should our listeners be wary of?
See, again, if you're talking about the challenges or the pitfalls, right? It's mainly towards inadequate training for HR staff. So, if you're integrating any kind of tools across in any organization, right? The main thing is you need to invest in training as well. So, having an AI as a tool, right? There are a lot of challenges wherein HRs go through, wherein it can be towards unclear objectives, leading to mismatch between AI capabilities and HR needs, which pretty much can relate towards poor data quality, or volume can endure towards AI effectiveness as well. So the main thing what I expect in every organization, right, rather than getting an HRMS tool or investing towards the AI aspect, right, invest in training as well. Get the entire staff go through this training. That's the only way you can understand what AI is all about and how effective that they can be towards the organization.
Ravi, I definitely agree with that point of having training being implemented with regards to any kind of a tool that you implement, because the success of the adoption of that tool highly
Right.
depends on how all the members of the team adopt the tool and usage and so on and so forth. So that's really a good and a valuable advice.
You know what, to be honest, like I've actually come across certain organization as well, and wherein they've actually invested a lot in having this particular tool. But again, you look at the entire HR folks, right, wherein they have no idea how to go about using this particular tool, which results in a lot of
Yeah.
things wherein things might actually get delayed. This is something that if we can actually pay attention towards it, and every fortnight, if they can actually go through this particular training, right, it makes it easier for every individual in the organization as well.
I think that's a really good point.